In today's episode, we have Levi. Levi, how are you? Tell me about yourself and tell the audience what you do.
Hi, yeah, I'm Levi. I am a musician, a young up and coming country musician, and excited to talk about my music and talk about kind of my journey in life so far.
I love that. Thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast. Levi, tell me, what do you have in store for 2026?
Yeah, so 2026 going to be a big year for us. Hopefully, we are putting out a record, a new record called "Made for the Moment," which is what will be kind of a blend of some country, rock, pop, a little bit of everything in there.
Wow.
And then we're going on tour. We're taking our songs on the road, going all across the United States to visit every single state in the country on a bar and cafe tour around the country. So it's going to be really, really fun. And that is the Find Your Paradise tour. So we're really, really excited for that.
Levi, that's amazing. Wow, that's really, really big plans. Levi, are you scared to go on road, like on tour?
You know, there's always a little bit of nervousness when you're, especially. I mean, I'm. The plan is I'm going to be driving around, basically just solo with my guitar and my amp, and just going around to restaurants and bars and cafes around the country. So that is, it's not something I've ever done before. It's not something that I think most people would do. So there's definitely a little bit of nervousness, but more than that, more than anything else, I am excited. I am really, really excited to do this. It's something that I've been planning for a long time, and something that, I think I'm very blessed to be able to do it, because most people would not be able to kind of pull something like this off. And the fact that, I've been blessed to be able to do this is really, really cool.
I love that. Levi, what gives you so much confidence to be yourself?
I think the confidence for me comes from the people around me, the people that I know. I have a lot of friends who have built me into the person that I am, a lot of mentors who have built me into the person that I am, family. I think having them in my life has really taught me that no matter what I do, there are people who are going to support and who are going to care. And so that's kind of freeing. It's very freeing for me to be able to then say, well, I already have this group around me that is surrounding me, making me feel cared for and loved and appreciated. So now it's time for me to go out and just be myself and just be as authentically me as I can.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, and kind of the impact of what the people around us can do for us, and having mentors, and how that can have such a positive impact on our lives. Levi, it seems like getting to know you, you are a very joyful person. What gives you so much joy in your daily life?
Well, again, it's the people that I know, the people who, I mean, my friends. I love talking about my friends, because they have really made me into this person, and I couldn't do any of this without them. I couldn't do any of this without my family, without my parents. But I also think there's a sense of joy that I get from knowing that whatever happens in this world, no matter what happens, we're being taken care of. I'm a very spiritual person, a very faith-based person. So I kind of have that underlying sense of, like, whatever happens, it's going to be okay. And in that way, I think I'm ultra optimistic about things, which may be almost to a detriment, some people would say. How many other people are gonna, quit everything and drive around the country for 4 months, but singing songs. But no, to me, I just have this underlying feeling that, yeah, it's all going to work out because of my family and my friends, my faith. So I don't know. I'm blessed that everything has gone this way so far for me.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Speaking of joy, you just released a Christmas album. Tell us about that record.
Yeah, I did. Jingle Bell Rock. My second Christmas record, actually. But my first that I recorded in the studio. Really fun to put that one out there. I've always loved the holidays. I've always loved Christmas. I grew up with a mom who was always super into the holidays, family tradition, Christmas trees, all that, decoration. So I grew up on the holidays, and that was always, my favorite time of the year, November, December. So I figure now that I can, I'm going to put out Christmas songs. I love I love creating Christmas songs because it's always a unique challenge to put out a song that has probably been that there's 1,000 people who've recorded Jingle Bell Rock, and now it's my turn to put out my version of it. So it's always a unique challenge to put out a song that 1,000 other people have done. But in that way, I did have a really good time doing it and kind of embracing that challenge and just going for it.
I love that. Amazing. How long did it take to record Jingle Bell Rock?
It took a couple of months. I started in August, and we ended up going through August, September, and then into October was when we kind of finished it up. So it was a process, and I think that's kind of it was the first time that I had really put more than a month or so into making a record. But doing it this way, there's a much bigger payoff, when you're doing it over a longer period of time, when you're working with the producer, when you're working in a studio, as opposed to previously, mostly what I've always done was DIY. But as I have progressed, more people are working with me, and that's a blessing. So it's good that I'm able to do that. But it did take longer, a little bit more stressful, I would say. But at the end of the day, it was fun, and you're making Christmas songs, so you really can't take yourself too seriously when you're recording Christmas songs.
I love that. Levi, what songs are you most proud of so far?
So far, I would say we put out a song called "Don't Let Your Smile Slip Away," and that was back in last April, and that was a song that I was very, very proud of. I wrote it in one night, and it was just one of those moments when you feel like your creativity as an artist is it just happened. It just happened. I can't describe it in any way. It just happened. I didn't even think I was going to write a song that night. So usually I sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to write a song. That one just flowed out. It just came. But I really enjoyed writing that one. I'm very proud of it. I'm also very proud of my song "Find Your Paradise," which is obviously that's the inspiration for the tour, the Find Your Paradise tour. But the Find Your Paradise record, that was a really fun one as well, because it was inspired by a lot of. I've got the straw hat, I got the Hawaiian shirt, and I'm a big beach guy, and so I'm very inspired by people like Jimmy Buffett and Kenny Chesney, and just these souls who sing songs about finding paradise on the water and in the sand. And so that song, "Find Your Paradise," kind of written almost in honor of Jimmy Buffett, and in honor of kind of my love for the water and for the beach. And so I'm very proud of that one. I think it really captures who I am as a person.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. What song is your favorite to play live?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot that I love. Probably, I do love playing "Find Your Paradise" live. But I think I really like playing older songs that I didn't write. I really love playing "Wagon Wheel" live. It's one of the best country songs there is. So I love playing that. I love playing U2. I feel like, my dad was a huge U2 fan, so I love to play U2 songs. I love to play "Angel of Harlem." I love to play "Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For." Some of my favorite songs from Bono back in the day. So I love playing the covers. The covers get the crowd going. Because I'm still pretty undiscovered. So a lot of people they see me play for the first time. They've never heard my music. But when I play a song from U2 or a song from Jimmy Buffett or a song from George Strait, they know it. And so that's kind of good. It gets the crowd moving. It gets the crowd more interested in who I am. Probably my favorite song to play live, though, would be Kenny Chesney's "American Kids," which I really love playing that one, and it always tends to be a crowd favorite. So
I love that. What upcoming song in 2026 are you most excited to release?
Ooh, there's a lot. Well, because we got the whole album coming out in 2026. So that's, I think there's going to be 13, 14 songs on there. Probably the one I'm most excited for, there's two that I really am excited to release. Probably they'll both end up being singles. But I have one called "Chasing Horizons" that I just finished writing. And that one I think it's going to be a good one. It's a very unique kind of song. The other one that I'm really excited for is a song called "Dance in the Rain," which is a song that it's really not country, which is, I like to say I'm a country musician. This song is not, it's probably the least country song I've ever written, but it's also probably the song that I am most excited to put out next year, just because it's something different, but it's something unique. And I think a lot of people will like it and resonate with it. So Dance in the Rain, it's coming in a couple of months probably. It'll be a single probably in March. And I'm very, very excited to get that one out there.
Amazing. Levi, tell me about, do you have the route, like the schedule? Like, do you roughly know where you're going to start, where you're going to end? Like, how can people know in what city and if they wanted to come see you?
Yeah, there'll be an official announcement in February.
Okay.
But we do have the route mostly planned. We're going to be starting up north in the north side of the northwest side of the country, working our way through the Midwest, down south into Florida, Alabama, then working our way up the East Coast into the New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts area, and then cutting back down through the Midwest again into Texas, Arizona, California, and then back up north to complete the tour. So stopping in all 48 continental U.S. states, which is going to be really exciting. And hopefully, we really build some traction here.
How many tours have you done? Is this your first one?
It's our first big one. We've done a couple of mini tours just locally. This is the first one going multi-state, and we figured let's go big or go home, right? So we're going big.
Perfect. What do you think is the biggest difference between the ones that obviously now you're doing the whole thing, which is amazing? What do you think? What thoughts go into it? Will it be infrastructure, planning? What have been the biggest lessons?
Well, there's a lot of planning that has to go into it, and we're still doing some of the planning because finding venues is difficult. You have to find, because sometimes, and you have to figure out in your budget, can we sell enough tickets to play at this venue? Can we get enough people to play at this venue? A lot of the venues we're playing at are going to be bars, so we're just literally calling bars. I spent days on the phone just, hey, I'm a musician. I'd love to play here. Sometimes they're willing to pay me, which is great. Sometimes they're willing to pay me in free food and free drinks, which is also great. So I really, when you're young and you're still trying to build that movement for yourself, you kind of have to take what you can get.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the biggest lesson I've learned, is that, you're not going to get everything handed to you. Whereas locally, people love supporting local musicians. So when I play locally, I get pretty well compensated, and well, I'm appreciated. But when you go out of your local area, it becomes a whole new can of worms, and people don't know you. They're not familiar with you. So you kind of do have to take what you can get, but it's very humbling. You hear no a lot, but when you do hear yes, it feels really good.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Levi, how can people connect with you? How can they know more? Do you have socials? Do you like going live? What is your favorite social media? What are your handles? Do you have a website? Tell me everything.
Yeah. Well, you can find me on YouTube. That's what I've been the longest. Levi Coov on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Levi Coovert. We got a brand new Instagram, started a couple months ago, Levi Coovert. And then we also have the brand new TikTok page from believe I started it 1 month ago, Levi Coovert on TikTok as well as levicoovert.com, my website. So yeah, you can check me out there. Check me out on Spotify if you want to hear some of my music, and Apple Music, Amazon, Pandora, wherever you listen to music, you can probably find me. Levi Coovert everywhere. So yeah.
Amazing. Levi, knowing where you are now, knowing what you're doing, knowing the plans that you have for 2026 and all the creative things you've done in between, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I would tell him to never give up, because there was a couple moments when I was ready to give up, and when I did even give up, and sometimes I wish I hadn't, because I feel like I could have been even further along in my journey if I hadn't given up before. But I would tell him to not give up, because it's, at the end of the day, failure is not an option for me, because if I fail, at least I'm going to have fun doing it. And in that case, it's not even really failure. I saw an Instagram post like that. It said, we need to stop treating it like you fail. No, you get experience. And so no matter what happens on this tour, I'm getting the experience. I'd tell my younger self, just don't give up and keep at it.
Amazing. Levi, I just wanted to say a great big massive thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast. Thank you for being so inspirational. Um, your energy is contagious. Like you're super bubbly, super uplifting. So I can't even imagine what 2026 is going to bring for you, and just the crowds that you're going to bring, because just with your energy you attract people, and people
Thank
just like feeling good, and then when you add the music on top, that's even more fun and more contagious. So I just wanted to say thank you so much and best of luck with the tour.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.